So, Del, tell me about, you were saying you did some studying and God was pushing on your heart to read the Word the other day. What did you read?
In Luke chapter 10, I was reading where Jesus said, I saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. And it was curious in my eyes as to what was perhaps the Hebrew word for lightning. And to my surprise, the Hebrew word for lightning is barak. And it made me think that perhaps Jesus was putting his finger into time and telling us who to look to, that who is going to be the Antichrist.
Now tell me about when you say Antichrist, what is that?
That is the one who opposes everything that is God, opposes the saints of God, opposes church, and opposes heaven.
Okay.
That is the Antichrist.
And then, so you read that, and it says Barak, and that's the name for lightning.
Yep, that is the Hebrew word for lightning. And then
just a coincidence, right? That could
extremely.
Okay.
And
so then,
yeah, I went to Isaiah chapter 14, which was the major boast of Lucifer, saying that he was going to ascend above the heights of God and be likened to the Most High God. So I started looking at all the words there in the Hebrew, and it struck me by surprise that the word ascend is Allah, and into the heights is Bama.
So put that together and you have
Barak, Allah, and Bama.
And his name is
Barack Obama.
And so you're assimilating those as potentially...
I have overwhelming evidence, number one, that he is a servant of Allah.
Okay.
The Muslim religion, that is his religion.
And so then so then you said something was on your heart about where this guy lived?
Well, yeah, I read out of the book of Revelation where it says, herein is wisdom. Let him that has understanding, let him know that this number is the number of a man, which is 666. And so I thought, I wonder what his zip code is where he lived in Chicago. And so I looked it up, and up it comes 60606. And another amazing anomaly took place. The day that he was elected as president, the lottery numbers, the two lotteries that were won in Chicago, one was 666 and the other one was 7779. And you can call it coincidence. I think it's overwhelming evidence. And then furthermore, in Obamacare, page 1502, line 15 through 17, it gives the FDA, or the Attorney General, the power to enforce, by March 23rd, 2013, the use of a Class 2 medical device, which is a radio frequency emitting biochip, or called a transponder, which will be implanted under the skin. And that is to be mandated. In order to receive health care, you have to receive this chip. And it will also be hooked up to your bank account to verify whether you have the funds to even be treated. It's amazing.
So this is just one more clue that this guy could be, or could be part of the steps on the way.
Yeah. But I've woke up 3 days in a row just recently and heard, behold your king, behold your king, behold your king.
And what do you think that means?
I think he's going to be the king of America, no longer president, but he's going to operate as a king, and I believe that he's being groomed by the United Nations to be the next world leader.
Now, I've heard someone forecast on radio that he would win this election, and in winning the election, he would then order under martial law the next election to not take place, and at that point, he would declare his kingship.
Yeah, I believe there will be an incident that is pre-planned that will stifle this for the actual presidency, the election from happening, and he will become our next president.
And how could what is the Muslim take, or what do you think the Muslim play is on this, and why is that significant?
They're the only religion in the world that decapitates, and they currently decapitate all over the world in every continent, including the United States. The quote-unquote moderate Muslim that wanted to tell the United States that the Islam is a good religion, bought a TV station to introduce Islam to the United States in New York City. His wife became too westernized. This was in 2011 or 2008. But his wife became too westernized, so he took her out to the park and beheaded her. Went to the police station and told the police where they would find her body. This happened in New York City.
What happened to that guy?
He's in jail, serving lifetime imprisonment.
Wow.
Now, Islam. Islam will fulfill the beheading of the saints because it says, and those that were beheaded for the sake of Christ. It's coined in the book of Revelation more than one time. This religion does it. If you just go to YouTube and put Muslim beheading, you will see that it goes on nearly daily, and so often it is quite startling. They are the religion in the world that can and will fulfill what is mentioned in the book of Revelation.
You have a question?
Yeah. Do you know what his middle name is?
Hussein.
Yes.
Yeah. Barack Hussein Obama. And he proudly introduced himself to a Muslim group up in Dearborn, Michigan, which has the highest, the most dense population of Islam in the entire United States, is in Detroit, Michigan.
So we always referred to our last president as George W. Bush. It was commonplace to use his middle name, but now if we say Barack Hussein Obama, we're considered racist. Why do you think that is?
Well, there's a stigmatism upon Islam now, and
stigmatism.
Yeah.
But don't they have a long history of war and fighting, and the Persians from the beginning of time have?
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. It's got a very poor history, or rich history, if you want to say, of violence, plundering, taking over nations, and they want to take over our nation too. You can see it.
Isn't Hussein a terrorist also? Saddam Hussein almost?
Well, yeah, but Saddam Hussein is now dead.
Yeah.